Your hands will start shaking, your heart will start going faster. You get sweaty, your eyes water, your skin flushes, the mucous membranes run, and so you get snot pouring out your nose.
Ed Curry is the evil genius who brought the world the Carolina Reaper, the world's hottest hot pepper.
A Carolina Reaper is a beautiful fruit that is hiding a package of evil inside, and it's the hottest pepper in the world. I get to hurt people from all over the world every single day. I might have a little sadistic streak to me.
The aptly named Curry has been hyper-focused on one thing since 1981, hot peppers. More specifically, he's obsessed with crossbreeding different peppers to make them as hot as possible by upping their level of capsaicin, the ingredient that gives hot peppers their heat. And the Carolina Reaper is an absolute capsaicin beast.
I made the Carolina Reaper by breeding a pepper I got from a doctor from Pakistan with a pepper I got from a coworker at the bank from the island of St. Vincent. I was just trying to raise capsinoid levels in the Naga that I got from Pakistan to see if I could get one of the subcapsinoids to go higher. And we got the Carolina Reaper. It was a gift from God.
In 2013, Curry's favorite pepper was officially crowned the spiciest in the world by the Guinness Book of World Records. But how spicy is that?
Everybody knows what a jalapeno is. They run between 3,000 and 5,000 Scoville heat units. Thai chili is maybe 20,000 Scoville. Habaneros, on average, maybe 100,000. Then you get into ghost peppers, they're really about 600,000. And then you got the Carolina Reaper coming in at 1.642 million Scoville heat units on average, with a peak heat of 2.5 million Scoville units. We're talking roller skates to space shuttle, you know?
Now, remember that peppers are organic things with lots of variation, including spice and size. For example, jalapenos tend to range from 3,000 to 8,000 or more Scoville heat units, and are generally twice as big as a Reaper, which themselves range from 1.5 million to 2.5 million. And heat is a subjective thing, but still, let's try to put it all in perspective. Roughly 10 spicy habaneros hold the same amount of capsaicin as one Reaper. You'd need about 60 serranos to match a Carolina Reaper. And it'd take 600 jalapenos, give or take a couple hundred, to match the amount of capsaicin in one mild, equivalently sized Carolina Reaper.
Carolina Reaper does not do the same thing to me anymore because my body is used to it. So I need something hotter. Oh, that's so good.
Curry has bred almost 500 distinct pepper plants, constantly trying to push the level of heat one pepper can hold, and he's not finished.
Yeah, we're still breeding peppers that are hotter and hotter and hotter. I used to think that about 4.3 million was the hottest you can get a pepper. I've already proven myself wrong, and science has now proven that we can get a lot hotter than that.
While the Carolina Reaper still holds the Guinness World Record, Curry says his Pepper X is even hotter. It's the main ingredient in this fiery hot sauce, the hottest in the hit YouTube series Hot Ones. To create new super hot peppers, Curry uses a pretty straightforward crossbreeding technique, interbreeding two different pepper plants, hoping to combine attractive traits into a brand new plant. It's the same method humans use to turn a gray wolf into the Chihuahua, the Bulldog, and even the Poodle. Except plants need a little more help.
It's a 50-50 crapshoot, but we look for a really nice flower, and we use these paint brushes to go around the flower and pull the pollen out. And then when you have enough of the pollen, you go to the female and you paint that pollen onto the flowers. And then you do this process over and over and over again.
It takes patience to create a new breed. A lot of patience. Plants in the first generation tend to carry a lot of their parents' traits. Breeders can start to tease out specific traits in the subsequent generations through selective breeding. It generally takes about 8 to 10 generations to stabilize a hybridization and get predictable traits and consistent fruit.
If we get desirable traits like high indices of any of the capsinoids we're looking for, then we'll keep on going on the cross. If it doesn't work, then we got to start all over again. And it's a very time-consuming, very long process.
Curry grew up gardening, so this level of botanical knowledge is second nature to him.
My mother was a master gardener, and she taught me how to breed plants and irises, lilies, different things up in Michigan. So that's where I literally got that, and I took it to the dope level. I started trying to crossbreed pot when I was younger, and it was dangerous.
So he decided to grow something else and landed on super hot peppers, like the Carolina Reaper.
I was on a search for hotter things than I could get, and this was a Vietnamese restaurant that specialized in spicy food, and I asked them to make it the hottest they could, and they said, no, and I said, yeah. And when I ate it, I got a rush. I literally got a rush like I was taking some dope.
Curry has been sober for over 20 years now, but he says that a natural high has kept him going, producing and eating hotter and hotter peppers.
When I first ate the Reaper, it knocked me to my knees. I was like 3 years clean. I hadn't felt that feeling in a long time. I knew that was hot. You get this like euphoric feeling, and that's your body trying to overtake the pain that the chemical reaction is giving you. And eventually, the endorphin rush overtakes the pain, and when you get into the higher pain, you get the more pleasure. So it's just chasing the dragon.
As Curry's tolerance grew and grew, his pepper growing hobby ballooned into a full-on, all-encompassing lifestyle.
When I met my wife, she wouldn't have anything to do with me. She called me a funny little man. When I asked for a number, she said, not a chance in hell, But I heard she liked salsa, and I was growing tomatoes and peppers and stuff. So I whipped up some peach mango salsa, and she talked to me. We got married 9 months later. So I put like 1,400 plants in her backyard, and we were making hot sauce and salsa with what we weren't using, in breeding.
And that salsa won her over. She convinced him to start selling his sauces instead of giving them away. So he started Pucker Butt Pepper Company. And in 2012, he quit his high-paying job in banking to dive headfirst into spicy peppers.
Approximately 4 a.m. every morning, I start sorting through those peppers to sort for grade, to sort for color, and I separate them into the mash peppers, the seeding peppers, the ones I want to eat, and the ones we're going to dry.
Curry grows peppers. He makes hot sauce. He makes salsa. He makes mash and mustard. He dries the whole fruit and makes beef jerky. And he even saves the seeds.
Last count, I think there was 3,800 seeds in my office, different types, and we've got more stashed all over the place. I think we're around 7,000 seeds, different types of seeds. Some of those are going to be for sale to the public. Some of them will never be to sale to the public. Some go to the medical community, and some are just because I'm an addict and I can't stop, I can't stop collecting them.
But capsaicin is a strong irritant to our skin, eyes, and lungs. And there's so much of it in Reapers that caution is needed while handling them.
When people are seeding, they wear double gloves because the oil inside the peppers will actually eat through nitrile gloves. But that's not because they're protecting their hands. My hands are on fire all the time. That's because they're protecting the soft parts of their body. They take their gloves off before they go to the bathroom. See, where I was touching those peppers earlier is on fire right now. The air is actually spicy.
For more than 100 years, peppers have been measured using the Scoville scale. It was started by Wilbur Scoville in 1912. Originally, the level of spice was determined by 5 individual taste testers. But today, the level of heat is measured in a lab, and so Curry knows exactly how dangerous his peppers are.
It was subjective then. Now it's analytical. Everybody uses the same process. No one's tastes are involved. If you put my wife and had her eat a Reaper, she would tell you it's 10 million Scoville. If you have me eat it, I'll say, it's 100,000. That's subjective. The machine doesn't lie. It measures everything the same way.
Curry works with a local chemist to find out exactly how much capsaicin is packed into his peppers.
We grind those peppers and emulsify them, and then we pump them through a machine called an HPLC, a high-performance liquid chromatograph. And that measures the different properties that are in a pepper. You can go for the tannins, capsaicinoids, flavonoids, coloring, agents, whatever you want to do. We analyze all of it. There's a very specific math equation that you put the area of the peaks in to come up with the Scoville heat units.
All this obsession with heat might seem crazy, but it couldn't come at a better time. America's appetite for spice is getting bigger and bigger every year. The U.S. hot sauce industry saw 150% growth from 2000 to 2014, with steady increases since then. Today, it's a $1.5 billion industry in the United States.
I believe it's because of the changing demographic of America. They brought with them food that we never had before. I mean, when I was growing up, there were no Thai restaurants, there were no African restaurants, Caribbean restaurants, Indian restaurants. But as the demographic of America changed, they brought in their food cultures, and we got exposed to that.
And then there's the internet, where people post painful videos of themselves eating peppers constantly.
Hot sauce is now a mainstream thing. People are always doing some crazy stunt with it. This didn't happen 10 years ago. For those of you out there that want to eat a whole Carolina Reaper, I highly recommend that you do not do it.
Despite these warnings, business is good, and Curry gets to spend most of his days surrounded by what he loves the most.
I get out of bed at 3:30 in the morning just to go and play with peppers, and I stay there all day long on fire, eating them all day long. This is my happy place.